How to match amps to speakers. This great question comes from Brian in Santa Barbara, California, a lovely area, not too far from where all my children were born, Santa Maria, California, just down the road a piece. Hey, Paul, I'm going to move on up in the audiophile world, good for you, by moving to separates, and I'm looking into your combo system. I'm looking at the Stellar gain cell and amplifier at 140 watts at 8 ohms and the Stellar M700 combo at 350 watts at 8 ohms. I love my floor standards, which have a power recommendation of 25 to 200 watts. I was wondering what would happen if I used this M700 system to power them using the entry-level gain cell system. How should I match up the power of an amp to the power recommendations of the speaker? Well, this is the stack that you're talking about. These are the M700s, and this is the Stellar gain cell DAC, and we use them here on these speakers, which are rated at maybe 100 watts, the ERAs. You don't have to match the recommended power to the speaker of the amplifier in general. So those recommendations are usually very useful to make sure you have enough power, not too much, okay? So these bad boys have 350 watts into 8 ohms and 700 into 4. Their stereo brother has about half that. So more watts is a good thing. I mean, if let's say this was a 1200 watt monoblock amplifier, still perfect for these. Gives you tons of headroom. And is it capable of frying something? Well, yeah, but you know, hey, unless you're completely drunk, you're not going to turn it up to, you know, the point where blood's running out of your ears, right? You're just not going to do that. So we use so few actual watts in most speakers that are of any average efficiency. So what you want to look at is the efficiency of the loudspeaker. How many dB of sound does it produce? 1 meter, 1 watt. So a inefficient speaker would be 85, 86 dB. A efficient speaker would be 89 and above. So the higher the number, the louder the sound for a given number of watts. Now, I have customers, some of them reviewers, who use Stellar and BHK high-powered amplifiers on their Avant-Garde horns. Now, an Avant-Garde horn system, I mean, that thing is 96, 97 dB, and yet they use big amplifiers. Why? Headroom. We want dynamic, live sound. That's what we're looking for. And we get it by having unfettered headroom and good linearity so that we're only using that much of the amp's possible power. And when you do that, when you use 10% or 20% of the available power, you will never get close to stressing the amp. And as amps get stressed, as they get closer to their point where they run out of gas, they start sounding compressed. They start closing in on themselves. So you want to stay away from that zone. So to sum it up, if you want to make sure an amplifier has enough power to handle your speakers, but don't worry about the opposite. Okay, thanks. I appreciate you watching, and let's talk tomorrow. Okay, bye.